wise man once said baseball is as exciting as watching paint dry. Well, we tried it, and the rest is history. You're watching Major League Paint Drying on CBS. Welcome to tonight's matchup between the Detroit Seafoam and the Cleveland Maroon. Joining me as always is Ted Binder. Ted, it's looking like a heck of a matchup.
That's right, Joe. The Great Lakes rivalry. Maroon leads Seafoam by just 2 coats in the standings.
And the 100,000-seat stadium is packed to the gills to see the action. And the ref is ready for the base coat.
Wet paint! Wet paint!
And we're off.
Oh my God, you gotta dry!
These two men know each other very well. Kent Statham is in his 12th year managing Maroon, and Brock McKinley in his 10th for Seafoam. Before joining the MLPD, Statham was a house painter, and McKinley focused on oil on canvas.
And now they focus on paint drying and victory, Joe.
Today is free trading card day at the paint park. Fans will receive a free swatch of paint with every concession stand purchase.
Boo this team!
Oh, that's fun.
Oh! Did you see the upper be dry on Maroon tent?
Couldn't miss it, Joe.
Let's take a closer look. We see in the slow motion replay that the paint originally placed on the substrate is a very dilute mixture. That makes the particles grow in distance. But as the paint dries and the moisture leaves the system, capillary forces cause those particles to compact together.
Well, Professor, I don't know what any of that means. But when I look at that, I see paint that's slightly less wet.
And the ref is there to check the paint.
Still wet! Come on!
Come on, Seafoam! I can swim in you right now! Let's not drying!
You know, people say watching paint dry is boring. But I find that they're not taking the time to notice the complexities of the game.
Couldn't agree more, Joe. Complexities like cool colors and beads of paint drying against the clock.
Oh, and the referee is out to check the paint again.
Still wet! Still wet! Oh,
Oh, we are getting a fresh cone of major news from the league's front office. The MLPD has just banned Goldenrod for testing positive for a quick dry paint and primer formula. We now go to a press conference happening live now with the paint.
G-Rod, this is devastating news for fans who will now have to choose a new favorite color. What comment do you have for them? Thank you, G-Rod.
Another fruitless attempt to get a can of paint to talk, Joe.
And as if that's not shameful enough, this incident is coming on the 50th anniversary of paint integration.
Well, that sucks. But we have a clip of the first integrated game 50 years ago. Let's take a look. Classic clip, Joe.
violation!
Oh!
I know it!
It looks
That's
like
fucking bullshit.
McKinley
That's
is trying to
fucking
blow
bullshit.
the paint dry.
That's the violation, Joe. That's why the ref is saying the word violation.
You know what?
You know, hopefully this paint doesn't dry during our commercial break, because that'd be a whole lot of build-up for nothing. But we'll be right back after a brief word from our only sponsor, Brushes.